Hi friends, it's Claire from ScrappyNerdUK and welcome to episode 1 of Washi Wednesday. So every Wednesday I'll be posting a video of a layout that I have created using up some washi tape because I know that you've got probably hordes of it just like I have, and you're never ever in a million years going to get through all of it. So I thought I'd design this series, and I think I've got 15 or so videos to share with you with regards to some layouts using using up some washi tape. So I'm going to have almost like a grid. It is a grid layout on this one. So what I'm just doing is I'm marking off the 4 and the 8-inch mark just to give myself some guidelines on this, just to make sure it's not too wonky. Doing things by eye for me is I'm not very successful at. So yeah, just marked at 4 and 8 inches, in both directions, and I'm going to create almost like a tic-tac-toe grid with some washi tape. So I've got a mixture here of the pink one now, and I've colour themed it to the paper as well. So I'm going to use the cut apart sheet from Pebbles. Oh, I can't think what the collection's called now. It will come to me, I'm sure. But the actual washi tape, 2 of those are from Amy Tan on a whim, I think. And then that black and white one is a Mambi washi tape as well. And so I'm just alternating the pink and the green. Now, for me, you've probably heard me say it in videos before, green, brown, orange are not my colours. But obviously when you get packs of items, I'm not too proud just to chuck it on and out, especially because there is some green in the flowers in the cut apart sheets as well, in the sheet. Cut apart sheet, singular, not plural. So yeah, I've just created this tic-tac-toe grid, and I'm just going to chop up the cut apart sheet. Girl Squad, there you go, that's what the collection's called. So yeah, and I'm a bit of a stickler for sticking to collections. So the paper, the washi if applicable, the puffy stickers. But what I try to do on this is not worry that the washi didn't come from this collection, but just try and match it in as much as possible. So I'm just picking some of these 3x4 cards from the cut apart sheet, deciding which ones I want to use. So I'm sticking to the ones that have got the pink, the green and the black in, because that's the colours of the washi tape that I've gone with. So I've chosen a photograph of I don't actually think I'm in the photo. I think I'm taking the photo. Yeah, I am. And this layout is just going to be about friends. We've all gone out for dinner, and I can't even remember when this was. It was many, many years ago. It's one of those photos that I've just got hanging around in my box of photos that eventually will get scrapped. So I just delve into those every now and then. So these 3x4 cards, obviously it's a 12x12 page, so they're going to be slightly too big because of the washi tape grid. So I'm just cutting these down. I'm not measuring these. I'm just using my little cutter here just to trim them down so they fit inside the boxes. And I know that these cards here, they're like a grid rather than white. They're a grid pattern. They are obviously on white card, and I was a bit worried about them sort of getting a bit washed out with white on white, but because of the grid, it does definitely help to separate it from the background. And this one here, I'm going to have to just cut into the bottom of that ever so slightly just to make it fit nicely. And again, just with this final one here, of the mobile phone cut apart. And yeah, that sentiment there, hello friend, was obviously apt in terms of this photo. And I love the sentiment that says friends are the family we choose. So I thought it was perfect for this layout. So I'm just going to add some adhesive and stick these down in each corner. Now, if there's anything that you'd like to see me do washi tape wise, if you've got any ideas, if you struggle with using washi tape, I mean, this series is designed to give you that inspiration that you probably need to kickstart your use of washi tape. And if there's any other embellishment that you struggle to use in the scrapbooking world, then hit me up in the comments down below. And if it's something that I have a mountain of stash, which is probably highly likely, then I'll look to add that for one of my next series. So yeah, I've just backed the photograph with, there was a paper in the 6x6 pad of some little small ice cream cones. Has no relevance to this picture at all, but the pattern's so small that you can't see it behind it anyway, but it is given that pop of green that's from the washi as well. And then I've decided that it needs another layer behind, and I literally am just doing even layers behind this photograph. And I found that black paper with the gold crosses on from the Girl Squad 6x6 pad, and I'm just going to add some foam double-sided tape just to give, I always do that with it, just to add some height to the photo. I did say that my sort of goal this year was to try and not keep my layouts as flat as possible, because that can be quite boring, but to try to use less foam behind my photos, purely because my albums are just getting far too bulky, and I'm managing to get less and less in the albums now, so I want to try and keep them as minimal as possible. I am partially scrapping in a traveller's notebook as well now, purely because of space for albums. They're just multiplying. It's like gremlins, but just don't feed your albums after midnight because they multiply. So I'm a bit concerned about space with regards to having multiple albums. So I'm trying to split my layouts between traveller's notebooks, Project Life, and traditional 12x12 and 9x12 as well, because I do my Project Life in 9x12. So I was going to leave those white squares blank, and then I decided that no, I was actually going to fill them. So I grabbed this paper from the 6x6 pad as well. It's just a black with white text with the odd gold wording, and I'm going to use this to fill a couple of the squares, and then I'm going to pull in just to keep with that mobile phone theme. There isn't particularly a mobile phone theme about this layout, but it doesn't bother me. So yeah, I'm just bringing that one in as well to sort of tie in that other mobile phone card that I've already used. So I'm just going to pop that down with a little bit of double-sided tape. And I'm much happier once all those squares are filled. See, when I do a grid layout, sometimes I will... Oh, that was my radiator if you heard that, apologies. Sometimes I will make the grid on a much smaller scale and maybe have sort of a small grid in the middle, and then have a lot of white space. But on this one, I've chosen to really fill the page. So that was a happy accident where I sort of trimmed off some of those words from that paper, and it almost makes like tiny word strips, and I use those Tim Holtz tiny word stickers all the time, so this was right up my street. So I've just cut a couple more and just using some wet glue there, some tacky glue just to stick that down. And I'm just going to sort of mirror what I've got in the bottom right up to the top left as well. Almost trying to add a bit of a frame. And then I decide to, even though the words are going horizontally, to have that vertically up the side of the photo, just to try and fill in some of that white space beside the photo as well. And then this came from, in the paper pad, I think there were 2 cut apart sheets in the 6x6, and this came from one of them, but I didn't like the square format of it, and it didn't quite work on my layout, so I just fussy cut it out, made a little ephemera piece out of it, and yeah, I was really happy with that. This is another of the little cut aparts as well, and I just added that to break up the black, which I really liked, bring some more of the white over to the left since I covered up quite a lot of it. And then just cutting into this, the other cut apart sheet that came with 9 2x2s, I think it'll work out as. And I'm just going to add that, and that does bring that darker green colour in as well, because there's a lot of the lighter green which matches in the lighter colours on the washi tape, but the darker green was somewhat missing, so I'm just adding in a couple more things just to bring that darker green colour in. So I found that tag that says, or ticket should I say, that says "You're great," and this other ephemera piece that says #besties, and the speech bubble that says, yeah, I was going to use that Good Vibe sunglasses, but I'm going to keep that for another layout. So I'm happy with the ephemera pieces that I've chosen. And again, I'm going to move this #besties sideways, and I'm going to use the rest of the space, fill the rest of the space with some of the pieces of embellishments. So I've just added that yay onto the pattern paper, the mobile foam pattern paper. And I've got one of these, it's an X-cut stapler that you're meant to be able to staple anywhere in the page. Now, I did buy this quite recently. I was a little disappointed, to be honest, because I think it's meant to, I think it's a We Are Memory Keepers one. They make one as well. It's meant to magnetise, so you know exactly where it sort of meets on the top and the bottom of the page. But it didn't quite work, so I ended up having to close the staples myself from behind, which is not too much of a problem, but I just expect it to work, really. So finally, last few pieces of embellishments, I just added some puffy stickers, again a little puffy mobile phone, which I've struggled to use on any of the layouts, so that's perfect to get it used on this, and a couple of those little pink hearts. I'm bringing the pink in here because it is a sort of green, pink and black theme almost. And I just added that You Are Pretty Great banner piece on from Amy Tan. I can't remember. I think it might be on a whim. I'm not 100% sure. Massive Amy Tan fan, so I always find something of hers in my stash. I've decided in the end to move that up there into the top middle square, because I want to use the right hand side to put. I was going to use the You Are Pretty Great as my title, but I did find this from the Amy Tan. These are from Better Together. So foam thicker words. And this just said friends, which is all it needed to say, really. I know it looks a little lost because it's over the washi and it's over the pattern paper, but actually in real life, as it were, it looks absolutely fine. You can read what it says. And again, I just added a couple of little black foam hearts on, and we are done. So thank you very much for watching. Here are some close-ups for you. If you liked this video, then your support means absolutely everything to me. So hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, then I'd love it if you can join me on my scrappy journey. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.